Movie Reviews. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is a brand new movie on Netflix. You can watch it right now. There's a lot to talk about this movie, especially the behind the scenes. A big notable thing to talk about is this the last movie featuring Chadwick Boseman before he passed away this year. But before we even get to that or his performance, this movie is part of many movies that Denzel Washington has planned. Based on films written by August Wilson, one of the most notable ones that already came out was Fences that, well, won Viola Davis her first Oscar, which we're also going to talk about with this movie. So Denzel Washington is producing this movie. It's directed by George C. Wolfe, who is actually a theater director. He's also directed films, but mostly known for the theater. So just so we're all on the same page, this is very much a play that is adapted into a film. I say that up front because that's the biggest thing you need to know about this movie, is that it is a dramatic performance. Getting into some of those performances, like I said, Chadwick Boseman, Viola Davis, they are really the two leads in this movie, and they just steal the show. The plot follows Ma Rainey, who is a real-life mother of blues. She's recording what we see as a couple tracks in Chicago with her band, and the whole film takes place within about a 3 to 4 hour span. While they arrive to the recording studio, they're rehearsing, they have all these interpersonal relationships and drama to unfold, and ultimately some of their lives are changed forever after the events of this film happen. Viola Davis plays the title character Ma Rainey, this singer who is this larger-than-life personality who wants to steal the show and has all these people working for her and is at a much higher class level than most people of her demographic. Chadwick Boseman plays her trumpet player Levy, who gets a little ahead of himself when it comes to the rest of the band, trying to just produce his own music, push his own agenda, and want to make himself a star. The rest of the band is just trying to stay along for the ride. They're just trying to do their job and get out of there. So a lot of talk has been happening about Chadwick Boseman and his performance in this movie and whether or not it is Oscar deserving. And I will say right now, it is 100% deserving of an Oscar. Will he win that Oscar? I don't know, and I can't say this is like my favorite performance of the year, but if he wins this because of this performance, this is definitely one deserving of it, and a great final performance for such a legendary actor. Viola Davis just keeps up, though, because we've already seen her win an Oscar for a movie along the same lines as far as, like I said, Denzel Washington producing a play into a film, so I can definitely see her in the competition as well, at least within the conversation of it. So yes, the acting performances were the most impactful part for me during this movie, but the things that they are acting out are so profound. Basically, every character within this movie gets a chance to tell their story. More specifically, the black experience within America during the 1920s or before that. It's a very common theme, and I think the movie would be at fault if it did not mention any of that. And it does a great job. It offers different perspective. A lot of these characters have conflict with each other. When some might assume they come from similar backgrounds, they really do not. They talk about the struggle of being black in America, and often you're only worth something if you can make money for the white people. And that's a very common theme. And it's this heartbreaking tale of how much is taken from the black community. This sound, this style of music, this way of life is just ripped off and used for the white person's gain. If there was one message to this movie, I would say it's that, and I think telling the story of someone like Ma Rainey, a blues singer from the South, is the perfect way to tell that story and give this overall analogy of what black culture truly means and how it is not given enough credit. When you look around within the music or even film industry for that, there's a lot that comes from that black community that does not get the credit it deserves, and it's often stolen, it's often taken, and I think this movie does a great job showing at least a few of their stories. Another great part of this movie is the music, obviously, and not only with the music that we see them play live, but the score is actually really enjoyable and pleasant to listen to. If I had to pick a few complaints about this movie, I do think it borderlines that generic biopic vibe, even though it's not a biopic really at all. It just kind of gives those feels at moment. That, and then I think there are moments where I wish it could pick a more specific theme and stick to it, at least tighten it up a bit. Because I do think it's amazing that we get to hear all these individual, unique, and diverse stories, but I do wish there was a little more with them that could connect them and give us a more specific moral or takeaway from this movie. As of now, I'd say this is leaning towards the edge of my top 10 of the year, but it's borderline. I really think it's all going to depend on what I see these next couple of weeks, but I would definitely recommend this movie to anyone. If nothing else, Chadwick Boseman and Viola Davis are going to be in Oscar conversations 100%, I guarantee it. So you're going to want to see this movie to see one of the greatest acting performances of the year. That's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Have you seen it? What do you think? Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you next time.